Hi everyone, this is Ghosty and I'll be bringing you another Vanguard deck profile. It's a deck that has done pretty well in the regionals. There's been quite a few top teams which have been fielding them. It is the Nova Grapplers and this time it's the Beast Deities. The Blauklugers have done incredibly well as well. I recently finished this Beast Deity deck and thought I might just talk a little bit about it because I think it's an incredibly strong deck. It feels a good late game as well as a good early game. They can put on incredible pressure early game with all of the stands, and they can put on a really good end game. That's why I'm just doing a quick deck profile of it because I think it's definitely worth mentioning. It's definitely a competitive deck, although weaker than both Chaos Breaker, which is a direct counter, as well as Nova, which is counter to just about everything at the moment. To start off the deck, I'm using the right horn. It is the preferred starter for this deck because it's a free stand. There is another card that gets like extra power when you stand it, but the catch is that it's not for free. You have to spend something to stand that unit in general. But this one always stands for free if your front row character stands up. I tried using two of these in the deck, but the other rear guards are so strong that I'd advise not to be honest. For my grade 1 lineup, I'm running 4 PGs. Always run 4, especially in this era of Novel. I've seen some run 3, but it's worse. It is worse. You definitely need them. Against Novel, it's your only safe option. I'm currently using 3 Beast Deity Blank Marsh. The Blank Marsh is mainly used as a pressure engine. I scare my opponent with the risk of standing a unit if this one hits. I am currently running 4 of the Beast Deity Blank Marsh. I play mostly the Blank Marsh because of its ability to apply pressure. It can restand any given rearguard with Beast Deity in its name if the unit in front of it hits. You can do 4 damage on your first attacking turn, and because of these restands. I'm also running Energy Charger. It is a really good card. Some do not run this one, and I think it's a mistake. It really gets my deck going. I know it doesn't work with the Ethics Buster I'm running, the strongest Beast Deity Extreme, but it's still worth it because it kind of gets my hand going. It's a free rear guard that when placed isn't a -1 from hand, because when placed I get another unit, so it's sort of like a free card. I'm also using 3 Max Beat. Max Beat is another of your options, just like Blank Marsh. This doesn't add pressure like the Blank Marsh does. I think it's good because you are able to stand more units. When you stand this unit you can choose another and stand it as well. So basically if this is in the back row you can also stand the front row, or you can stand the other front row, like putting up a 12k beater that can always hit, for example, which is really good. I think the Max Beat is a good card, but I think running it in as 3 is enough. If some run 4 though, and I totally appreciate that, it's not a problem, but 3 does fine. For my grade 2 lineup, I'm running my 12k beater. I can't stress how important having rear guards with over 11k is in this deck. You're standing a lot of units and not with extra power. If you stand a 9k rear guard, it's not going to do a whole lot. But if you stand something with 11, suddenly you can actually hit the Vanguard, and 12 is even better. It also builds 19k columns, which is amazing. So definitely 4 of the Hatred Chaos. I'm currently running 3 Golden Anglet. I've thought about swapping them for the 10k beater or some kind of other tech, but the Golden Anglet is more to have another restand target. It gains another 3000 when it's standing, so yeah, it'll always be able to hit something. Having another 3 of these 12k stand targets is really strong. I'm currently running 4 of the Brainy Papio. I'm not sure 4 is the advised number. It feels like it because I want to guarantee having one. It's also either my fake pressure that I want my opponent to guard, or an actual like rush engine. Early on I could have a field with, for example, 2 of these as rear guards and a Vanguard with a blank march active. I could get 4 or 5 attacks in the first turn. It's kind of like an Aqua Force Rush. You can put on serious pressure early on, which is great. You can usually tell by your opponent how they are guarding. For my grade 3 lineup, I'm obviously running the Ethics Buster. The Ethics Buster is a kind of good card. It's a free restand, so when your Vanguard attacks, whole front row stands. And if this one, for example, is on a rearguard slot, it'll also stand. So you almost raise your whole field. So I really like the Ethics Buster, definitely in combination with the Deadly or the Reverse Ethics Buster. It really adds a lot of punch. With the Reverse Ethics Buster, you get a completely stupid combination that restands your whole field twice, which is really good. So yeah, it is a really good card, the Ethics Buster, and I completely love it, especially that it's a cross break ride. It makes it that much better. That many attacks, as well as having a 13k base to rely on, that is incredible. For my main Vanguard of the deck, it is the Strongest Beast Deity Ethics Buster Extreme. It is a solid card. It is a cross break ride in general when I place it. So having 13k, as well as usually standing at least 1 or 2 more rear guards. With this one, 3 or 4 usually. You can even stand your grade 1 max beat and stand another for a counterblast. So you can usually get your whole field up again. Even if you do not have the standard Ethics Buster break ride, you can usually stand almost your whole field once, every turn. It's an incredible pressure. This clan goes for game very easily. Second Vanguard of choice is the Ethics Buster Reverse. It's a kind of cool card. This one I brought it only for the combo to place on the break ride. The Ethics Buster's ability is that when the Vanguard attacks, you restand your whole front row. So basically you restand your whole front row, and the combination is obviously that this guy will attack twice. And adding, for example, this card on the field, you can usually restand your whole field twice, which is incredibly important. So overall, I brought this guy for the combo, and the fact that I cannot run more than 2 in the deck because I don't want to be forced to use it, because it's kind of bad against Chaos Breaker, for example. And the whole idea with the deck is obviously to either rush and put on a sick pressure early on, which is really strong, or just to go for game in a hard way. The pressure is immense. I think it's an enjoyable deck. It's sort of a change of pace from playing the Chaos Breaker, so I might play this on Sunday, unless I get a hold of my Angelica for my new Minerva deck. Anyways, that's it for the deck profile, and this was the Ethics Buster deck. I really like the deck, and it's one of my favorite decks. Not the favorite, but I really like the art of this kind of cyber Gundam. I really like it, and yeah, that's it for today. I'm gonna be making a lot more of the Wise games and a bunch of Vanguard games. I'm gonna record them, add a couple of them like metadata and things to the video so it's a bit clearer. I'm gonna cut it out so the pace is high, so there's not much like, you know, the thinking pauses and things like that. I'm gonna be posting them on this channel, so feel free to subscribe. Thank you.